Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us for this live Katalist AI session. I'm joined today by Francois Houte. Many of you know on the Facebook and LoudEgg group. Sometimes he goes by Bill. He's a Catalyst power user. And also the founder, of course, of Catalyst, Andraz Zvonar. I believe I got it right. I
You
hope.
got it. You got it. Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Doing great. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, thanks for making time, both of you. I thought it was great that obviously have the founder and creator of Catalyst and also power user Francois, who I've been bugging to get on one of these live sessions because he shows so many use cases in our group. And he's a nice guy too. So, and also we got the Euro. You both guys are, I believe, France, and where are you from, Andras?
Slovenia.
Slovenia, right next to
Yeah.
Croatia. Good job.
Right next to Croatia. Yeah, you got it.
So I guess we could start with, why did you create Catalyst? Go from there.
Oh yeah, sure. So I used to work in the advertising industry. Used to actually manage a product that helped really big brands with what we call creative automation. And so what this basically means that when Spotify comes out with your holiday campaign that they do every year, right? They advertise to over 50 different markets. They have so many different online placements, which means different ad sizes, different creatives, different offers. It quickly balloons to thousands and thousands of videos. And what we used to, what I used to do, what the company still does, is made software that automates this process. So instead of people copy pasting, translate the text like buy now and claim offer, right? Over and over again to Photoshop and exporting to a PNG, we built software that made the template and then would feed the data from a spreadsheet and would automatically populate this data and churn out the videos, HTML ads, static creatives that we put online. And so I was in this space. I was thinking a lot about, helping creatives automate the process, especially the boring parts, because let's be honest, like copy pasting, translate the text into an image, it's not very creative, but it is part of the work, the job you need to do to get the project done. And so when generative AI started making waves back in 2022, it obviously intrigued me a lot because I was already in this space trying to help creatives automate their work, right? Make it more efficient, spend more time being creative. It obviously, gained my attention. And so I started trying to do a bunch of different things, from trying to make ads to trying to make all these different experiments. And back then, it's mostly used for mostly like art, right? It's most like art using Midjourney and DALI. But as like technology matured, I clearly saw there's a big use case in using it more professionally, using it like for like serious work, right? Not just things you post on maybe on your Instagram, but can be like actual like storytelling, actual ad creative, actual expression. And so I started thinking a lot about how this could be applied, and I realized that it's really hard to make stories because AI didn't know about the character. How do we make the character look the same across different frames? How do we make the scenes look consistent so it doesn't, take away from the story? That people are thinking, oh, is this the same person? I don't know. It looks kind of similar, right? Or kind of like the style would like shift too much, and that was like a huge problem. It's not as big of a problem today. It still is, but it's like
Still a headache,
huge problem
yeah.
making like start 2023. Feel like prompt engineering galore, right? And so that got us to think, how could we make a product that would just support you in storytelling instead of having you look up an hour-long YouTube tutorial on how to prompt engineer from Midjourney instead, and then doing that over the weekend instead of focusing on the story. So that's how we started building the product, but it's evolved so much since that we do a lot more than just storyboards. But that's kind of like
How big is your
yeah.
team? Sorry, how big is your team? Like
We're a team of 6 now.
6, and
Yeah.
all over the globe, or your Slovenia, your home, or
It's most of the team is in Slovenia, but we have people all over the country, the whole over the world. So my co-founders actually spend a lot of time in South America, even though he's Slovenian. He really loves the place. He's got some family there, and we've also been joined by two members of the team recently. One in India, another one in Armenia. So we are pretty international.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
And Francois, like, how did you come across Catalyst? Did you find it like all of us on AppSumo, or is it?
Oh yes, I think my first was perhaps on the Facebook group. I don't remember the one, but someone was talking about the tool, and I was curious because I already using some generated AI image generation, and I've it was one of my concern to make, of course, consistent character. So I was really curious, and when I saw the product on AppSumo and the review, and I see some video also, I just say
I
I've got
liked
to
it.
try it. That's the way I began into it, and at the first glance, I see that was something really different and really powerful
Yeah,
because I wasn't able to make generated field or something like that before, or also have consistent character and also have the possibility to change the skeleton of the character. That's something really special that you got in Catalyst, and I haven't seen that anywhere else. So
yeah.
that
I
I
think, but
will.
what you've been showing on Facebook, and sharing has been great because a lot of the tools, what happens is they get launched, and then the buzz kind of fades. Everyone's on what's the next tool? Because especially in your space, AI, Andras, like it's going so fast, and I think Francois is doing a great job with. He just shares every so often something, and I'm like, oh, look at this. This is pretty cool. And it's always catalyst and something. Or now I think it's a lot of just Catalyst because you gave Francois the early access to the video feature, I believe. I'm still waiting. So whatever you could get for me, I
We'll
want
get
to
you on.
try
We'll
it.
get you on.
Yeah, I know it. And you guys, I did a review on Catalyst when you first launched, but then there were still not as many features, and you already added the custom character, which is great.
That's right.
So I see that you're moving quickly, which is good to see because sometimes when people launch a lifetime deal, the roadmap is like a year down the road, and it's after the deal is over. So people that were questioning maybe refunding it and not sure could already see that your team is working hard to produce these great features. So that's great.
Yeah, yeah, we really wanted to get some of the features out before the deal's over because I know people are very concerned with whether the product's going to be supported, and we are. AppSumo launch is just one of the first things we're doing. We have such big plans with the product, and I just wanted to make sure people have some evidence that we really mean it seriously, that we are here for a long haul. This is just the start of it. This is just the very beginning, and that there are many things coming out. And so the same thinking also with video. And I think, yeah, you're right. We have a very engaged community, and this is something that and when hard times strike, when some things go wrong, I sometimes open up Discord and I see all the ingenious things people are making, and it makes my day. I'm
Yeah.
serious because when we first started building video, um, we tasked an engineer to do a prototype, a proof of concept. Let's just see how hard this is going to be to make um, into a full product. And he came up with I don't know, he probably spent a week on it, and he made a very rudimentary version. And I thought, what, this is not right to launch, right? We need to be our bar is higher than that. But because we have such an engaged community, I thought, what if we just gave access to 10 people for free? And let's get some feedback. Let's see what they think. And we came back a couple of days later. I know people were making music videos, people were making ads, people were making all these kinds of things, posting them to Discord that I thought, wow, Like, I didn't think you could make such amazing things with this like very basic version of the product we had at the time. It's still pretty basic now, but it's even more basic back then. And that's why we do all these things like early access and run contests, that kind of stuff, because it's amazing. It truly is like it's really, I think it needs to be it's part of the strategy now for Catalyst is to do things very in tune with the community.
And you guys, you and your team probably can't even sleep because the AI is moving so quickly. Like yesterday,
Yeah,
GPT-4o Omni was released. So does that affect how you implement and grow the product? Is Catalyst based off of Stable Diffusion?
it is.
It is, okay. So I guess you're always looking at that, and then you have Midjourney, which is one I guess you probably have used, right? You keep an eye on
Yeah,
what the competitors are doing, even though they're in the same space. It's not necessarily you can use both, so it's like,
yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Why
for sure.
not? I think every tool probably definitely has a thing that it's good at. I think Midjourney is a very generic tool. You can use it for lots of different things. That's how I started with making storyboards and making stories. So it was Midjourney. It was with Stability AI's Dream Studio, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I learned that we need Catalyst. So, but Midjourney is still great for other things. I wouldn't say probably not that great for storytelling, but it's really great for mood boards, logo design. There's so many
Yeah.
things people do with it. We're definitely not looking to be end all be all tool in creative AI. But yeah, we are constantly on the lookout for the new things that are coming out. Like a person on the team has the responsibility to be on the lookout to test new stuff. It's basically one of the main things they focus
Is
on.
it
It's not just
Francois? Is Francois the secret guy on the team that is checking out these tools and implementing them? Because he would be the perfect guy.
I don't think
yeah.
so.
Yeah, maybe we
It could
should
help.
discuss that, Francois. Maybe we'll make space on the team. But yeah, right now it's Luca. He's heading all the research, and he's very in tune with what's going on. There's so much going on that it's impossible for anybody else on the team, even in engineering, to keep up. Because if you try to keep up, you don't get any work done because
You'll
it's a
get
flip code.
frustrated too with everything, with the noise. I mean, even just
Yeah.
for Francois and myself, and I'm sure many others in the community, in the tech SaaS AI community, they're coming out so quickly. You get overwhelmed almost. You freeze. You say, okay, which tool am I going to use for this project?
Yeah.
Catalyst. I was using Midjourney. I still do use Midjourney, but I'm kind of I have a background as a fine artist and an illustrator.
Hmm.
So I have a love-hate relationship with AI image tools because, traditional fine artist, oil painting, uh, I like to draw and create. And then I have this AI that can kind of help me, create and guide me. But I do have a use case where, and I've tried doing it with Midjourney, where you could like see the prompt and get the same character going, or with the face swapping add-on. It works great. But actually, the scenes and what Catalyst does with the scenic background and adding the face on the right away on the
Hmm.
actor is
Yeah.
fantastic. So what I'd like to do is to storyboard first right now, storyboard a cartoon, like a comic
Hmm.
strip, when I can, draw, but rather than just doing the drawing right away, kind of get the vibe for the landscape of each scene change, where it's going to be have something in Antarctica with
Hmm.
penguins. And when the penguin and my little character is going around, I could kind of get mock-ups very quickly with Catalyst.
Yeah.
And it's just like anything else. Most artists use photography for reference for their artwork. So why not use
Hmm.
AI? Because then you have, your own customization. So I think that's going to be my use case. I'm going to bug you about it more, Andras, in the future. Like, hey, can I
You're
add my
welcome.
little custom character guy? I want animals, the ability to put actual like
Yeah.
illustration as the character themselves. Like, because you get a lot of artists that would actually just upload their own full character illustration
Hmm.
and use
Hmm.
Catalyst maybe more for the scenery.
Hmm.
That's what that you guys provide, and then banging out that script, it's great. So
For sure. I think that's a great use case. It's a use case many people got in like storyboarding, kind of like also just like exploration. I think it helps a lot of like screenwriters and authors to just explore ideas. It's like a really interesting problem. I'm not really from like movie entertainment industry, but I've talked to a lot of people that use our product, and I find really interesting how when you write a script, you usually do lots of rewrites, right? So you would like write like a first draft, and then you would keep on rewriting and rewriting. What can happen is that you write parts so many times, you kind of forget what exactly is going on in like each one, and then you get to plot holes, right? And then you have like these inconsistencies, right? And so, but if you have a storyboard that you update, right, and you kind of see how it looks, it makes it so much easier to keep the continuity going. So I think it's like a really interesting tool, because typically as a screenwriter you would have to write the whole thing, then get the storyboard done, right? Storyboard is too expensive to like just do on a whim. But if you can just do it yourself, well, as an inexpensive thing, you can just do, right? Or another really interesting story I'd love to share is I spoke with this screenwriter. I think he's like a documentary producer in LA. And so he told me, I hope he doesn't mind sharing this, but he said, I have very vivid dreams, right? I'm going to wake up in the morning. I need a way to write them down. And since I have Catalist, I just write the storylines in the script assistant. I just generate it. And sometimes it gets it exactly as I dreamt it. And sometimes it's a completely different idea. And it's really great. And that's how he kind of saves and then gets to explore these kind of like dreams, like the stories that come to him in his dreams. And I thought like, wow, that's such an amazing way to use this tech that you otherwise couldn't have done if you didn't have AI to do it for you.
That's great. Francois, like with using Katalist, are you using it for your work at your agency or just personal projects right now, or a little bit of both?
It depends. Most of the time it's just testing as a creator and try to get things interesting and to try prompts to see how Catix responds and how can I tweak them for making a particular image or things like that, or correct something that I don't like on the first output. But I was using the tool professionally for illustrating blogs. So that's one of my first use case for business. And also, I've got a client who is interested to have sort of little avatar with just a GIF and him, a girl who's speaking. So I made the girl on Katalist and made the GIF with that. So it's just now in testing, but I implemented it in one of my virtual tools because my first business is making virtual tools. So I'm using visual sometimes into my virtual tools, but also in other marketing product or it depends.
And your agency, is it called this site? This site?
Visit 360 Pro, yeah.
Pro 360. Okay, yeah, I see it. Sometimes you mention it, so that's the virtual tours that you do.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice.
So that's what one of I wanted to ask Andraz, because that's one format that's really difficult to make in with a high image, but I really like to have the format for 360 pictures, where you can have one size for the height and two for the length, and have a rectangular angle. I don't know exactly the term in English, but and to be able to generate 360 pictures right from the start, so that there is no problem at the edge. And so it can be really tricky to do it, but I think that could be a really interesting use case to be able to make 360 with AI. So that's one of the thing I would like to see in Katalist also.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you want to get maybe we could start kind of showing Catalyst if you'd like a little bit, Andraz, like
For
the
sure.
basics, or
Sure.
and then if anyone has questions in the comments, we can shoot those later. And yeah. All right.
Let's get going. Yeah.
Yeah. All
So
right.
I'm gonna do like a really simple, straightforward demo. We're just going to go into the app. I'm gonna generate a script. I'm gonna show you what it takes to get a first draft of the storyboard done. And this is going to be literally about a minute. And then we're gonna dive a little deeper into the editing capabilities we've got. I think editing is super crucial with AI because I think especially with like Midjourney and those that don't have a lot of editing capabilities, it's really easy to get like 80% there, and then the remaining can be really challenging. So we're gonna get into all the options we offer, and then finally I'll show you the video feature that Francois has already been using and Joe wants to get on. I think it's super cool. And you're gonna get to,
Francois.
I think we haven't shown this publicly yet, like the UI and the
Oh,
workflow.
nice.
I think it's only been shown to people that have access. So this is gonna be first showing of the UI. So keep tight. All right. So it's a completely web-based app, so no need to have any special hardware. You need any type of GPUs that you would need to run Stable Diffusion. We do it like we host everything in the cloud for you, so you don't have to worry. You just log in, you get into the app, and the way the app works is the home screen are your projects. So especially if you're a team of people using Catalyst, it makes it really great because everybody shares a project and we have real-time collaboration just like in Figma. So multiple people can join a project and then work on it together. So I can be working on the first 3 frames, my colleague can be working on the next 3. We can do this kind of stuff to get to divvy up the work and get it done faster. But when you create a new project, you start like this. You create a new project. Let's call it what should we call it? A demo? Let's call it a demo. Right now we got 2 styles. And I was just mentioning to Joe earlier before I started the call is that we're adding more styles very, very soon, hopefully this week. And later on, we'll also be adding custom styles. So you'll be able to upload your reference and then have the project follow that. But about 10 new styles are coming very soon. Right now we have sketch and cinematic. So you can do sketch, especially if you want to focus really on the story. And this can be really helpful when you may be doing some kind of a sketch for a client and you don't want them to focus on the details too much. Or you can use cinematic when you want really high detail for realistic stories. And this can be really great for actually using as final work. While a sketch can work really great too, for like posting online and going in YouTube. Cinematic can be, kind of going into that. Was this made with AI, or is this like actually real? So we also do a bunch of different aspect ratios. So you can do, YouTube, TikTok, anything you might want to do. We cover with all different ratios. So we'll just do a 16:9 cinematic, something that would go into YouTube or TV. And we're gonna start by creating the script. So a lot of our users already have scripts written out, especially if you're like creative, like a script writer or a art director, copywriter. You might already have your script story written. You can just drag and drop it in and upload it directly into Catalyst. But if you don't, or maybe you're just like I don't have a script ready for this, I'm just going to generate it. So I know lots of people will generate their scripts in GPT because it's a really great drafting tool. It's basically the same thing, just built directly into the app. So it saves you that step of going into GPT. So we can do things. We got a couple of suggestions in here so you can get started really easily. Helps with this demo, but you can write anything. You can use like a standard a storyline with like setup and then conflict and resolution. You can write in that way and it's going to generate a script. Or you can just put in any idea like Jessica starts a rock band. That's enough for AI to go off of, and then write a couple of scenes for you. So we have a basic script written now by an LLM. So we have kind of establishing Jessica's passion for music and all the way to her band delivering a performance on stage. And I could go in and make edits, but for the sake of this presentation, I'm just going to keep it as is, and I'm going to import it. And this is where the actual storyboarding AI part happens. That is the automated part that I think is a special part of Catalyst. So I'm going to click confirm, and you're going to see the storyboard now immediately starts generating. The text you see down below, this is what we've generated. This is your script. But the pink frames are the visuals that are now being made. And you'll notice we haven't written any prompts. This is actually the script, right? And this is because I don't believe that we should be writing prompts if it's not necessary. That's why we do prompt engineering automatically for you in Katalist. And what Katalist does is it reads the script and it figures out what the character should look like. It figures out what the scene should look like. And then it writes everything together, generates the prompt and all the different options you need to set. I'm going to show you all these options in a bit. And then just goes ahead and generates the entire script. And my kind of thinking behind designing this feature in that way is that when you need to start from scratch, which is like design tool, we call it like blank canvas or like blank canvas problem, which is like you started with nothing and you need to make the first stroke, and that's the hardest. It's always the hardest to start. You don't know where to start, where to put things, right? But when you already have the first draft done and that's your starting point, it's much, much easier because you can see how the story is laid out. You can say, oh, I don't like this, I like this. You're not so much like a designer or a sketch artist, you're more a director. You're more in the position of saying, you know what, this character, not what I had in mind. I'm just going to change it. And that's really great because I can go in here and say, all right, we're going to change this character. How about we use this woman instead, right? And Catalyst is smart enough that it knows how to make updates across the entire storyboard all at the same time. So when you say, oh, I like this character, it's going to update it everywhere, right? Or you say, oh, I like the scene. Maybe this is grandparents' attic. Maybe it should look different. Maybe it's like a different setting, right? It can make these updates really, really fast so that you can focus on the story and not focus on, prompt engineering 6 different prompts right now in Midjourney, which I think kills all the creativity. We need to make changes like that. And that's basically how you get to like a high-level storyboard in just a minute or two, right? And at that point, I can now go in and I can say like, oh, I'll add some frames in between. I can add the script in here, or I can mix some things around, switch it around. You have all the possibilities to play around. You can even duplicate the frames. So you can, like, with the content you have, you can now build out your story. You can experiment. You can try different things, see what works and what doesn't, until you get to something you like. And now, before I go into editing that I mentioned earlier, I'll just pause right here. Are there any comments any questions so far that somebody might want to ask? I'd be happy to stop right here and answer them.
Yeah, if we like to go, let's see. Victor, so pardon me if some of my questions come off as basic. That's fine. You could ask away anything here. And Constantine says, what are you guys targeting? I'm not talking about the roadmap and short-term plans. What are you dreaming to make one day with this fantastic product? I purchased Max Tier some time ago.
That's an awesome question, Constantine. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my dreams, visions for the product. So really, I think what's really guiding us is this idea of really anybody being a storyteller. I really deeply believe that AI is enabling everybody that has a story to tell to express themselves visually. And I think the first step definitely is supporting people that are probably a little more creatively inclined, that know how to use these tools, but I think like know how to prompt engineer a little bit and stuff like that. But I think really in the long term, I really want to be basically able to say that we have kind of empowered everybody, whether you have like sketching, drawing, filmmaking or not, like capabilities and skills or not, you can express your story, your vision just as well, right? And I think we have, especially in terms of video, I think there's a huge demand for video, and just we can't produce as much as people want to watch, right? All in terms of entertainment and all in terms of just regular communication when it comes to doing things like businesses do training with video and onboarding, all that kind of stuff. I think there's so much we can do with empowering everybody, not just people that have the skills to do like run high-end video production to basically produce this type of content. And so this means that everybody is a storyteller, everybody can create a video. I myself can sit down and make a feature film in an afternoon and put it online, because that's what this technology allows me and my imagination allows me to do, right? And that's kind of like the long-term vision I hope we're going to be able to achieve, that, everybody's going to be able to do something like that. And so just your imagination, your storytelling is going to be, the creativity is going to be taken to the limit, and not so much the technical, obstacles that we have today.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Again, like you said, you don't have to be a creative, an artist to use the tool. And I think like a year ago, where I saw in one of the groups, I think it was Stable Diffusion or Midjourney group, this older woman made a post, and all she said was, "I could never draw, I could never paint, and I'm using AI, and I created something with the help of AI to help the vision she had in her head, that she actually could translate it, and that took me a step back, hit me a little bit, and said, you know what, I shouldn't be this gatekeeper for the fine arts world of, oh, you have to go to art school. We paid our dues. We spent decades learning how to draw, how to paint, where you have people who, they have a vision, they have an idea, or if you're a creative and you have an idea and you use the AI to see, kind of flesh it out a little bit before you get started painting, or
For
creating
sure.
a short cartoon. I think that's where your tool, really can help.
And I'd love to add to that I definitely don't, like, my vision is not replacing artists. I think artists have a special place that is not going away. At least I believe that, because I think the more we're going to produce AI generated content, the more there's going to be demand
Yeah.
for handcrafted artisanal products.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing with that, like, the more, like, I'm not saying like we're just going to create a lot of crap AI content, but well, we probably will anyway. But all this AI content, I think, is going to be great. But at the same time, people are going to be thinking, oh, but you know what? I really love to see something made by a professional artist as well. And I think we're going to have this, I think, a lot more demand on that. And we're going to satisfy the need with kind of like, help everybody else be a storyteller too. And yeah, exactly as you said. And I have another great example as well of people that are not able-bodied, right? Maybe they could never draw, even if they spent all the time in their life trying to draw, because they just don't have the means to, right? And I think this is another really beautiful example of how AI can help you if all you have maybe is speech, for example, right?
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, it's artists have been through many different technological revolutions. Of when the camera was invented, the artists, the impressionists, that they were threatened. They didn't like it. What's going on? When the computer, I remember, I don't remember when the camera was invented. I'm not that old, but when the computer was first brought into our ad agency, I just got out of college, and I remember, a lot of the old timers there were getting nervous. What's this computer doing here? And all of a sudden the computer replaced a few of them. And now with AI, it's just an ongoing thing. You just have to adjust, but it's another tool for the toolkit for creatives. You can use it, just like anything else, just like a paintbrush. It's a tool. It'll help you out, and that's that. But they always, most traditional artists are always scared of technology. It seems they want it to slow down. Let's see,
And
Victor.
I think, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people kind of take for granted the skills they have, like as the artists, in terms of not just the technical skills, but the skills of composition, and the skills of understanding what's a really great story, and all these things that are not technical, but they make the difference, right? And the more tools can become accessible, the more this is becoming important. And obviously, somebody just off the street that just downloaded Katalist today is probably not going to be telling the greatest stories in the world, even though I'd love them to be, and I hope it's going to encourage them.
You never know.
To learn, to learn these skills, right? But at the same time, I think what's really becoming more and more valuable, and I think it's always been, are these types of things, right? What is a really great story? How do you write a really great story that people love to listen to, love to watch, right? It's not trivial. Definitely not trivial. I tried many times.
That's great. Victor, can I import my own character? I'm thinking maybe creating a character based on my own photo or something.
For sure, you can do that. You can upload any kind of character, so it can be an AI generated image of a person, or it can be an actual image, it can be yourself. You can upload that into Catalyst and then use it in the same way that we use this kind of default character that I used here. So
And it's a new
Catalyst comes
feature.
with
You
this.
just released this, correct? It was a couple weeks
That's
ago,
correct.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just over a week ago when we launched custom characters, so it's a very new feature, and people are getting lots of use out of it already.
I observed that some people complained on the AppSumo page that they could not get Catalyst to create character in full body shot. Can you please talk about this?
For sure. So definitely when it comes to camera control, it can be a little bit tricky with certain scenes that very describe a character or a face in a lot of detail, and it kind of gets the model to try to zoom in, even though you might not want it. So it is a little bit of limitation of the Stable Diffusion, but we actually improved this a lot. So we've been reworking the way we process the prompts, and so we've improved this a lot in an update that's come out end of last week. And there are more improvements coming soon as well, because our plan is to have really consistent control of the camera as well, because right now it's not 100%, I'll be honest with you, but it is something that I think basically everybody's having a problem with in AI. But we are working on another improvement that's going to make it even better, so you can don't worry about it, because it's getting better very soon as well.
The Victor, what counts as one image credits used up in the case there where the user doesn't feel like generated image works for them and decide to tweak the prompt? Does the previous one count as image credit used up in the case of tier 1 license?
Yes. So every time an image is generated, it's counted as a credit. And so when I generate the storyboard, this counts as 6 credits. And then if I go in and generate 4 images to try out, it's going to count as 4 more credits. If you want to use, so the tier 1 is meant for kind of very infrequent use. So if you don't mean to use the product more than maybe once a month, it should be enough. It's a very introductory tier, but on all the remaining tiers, we offer unlimited credits because of exactly the question you asked, right? If you could run out, and that's why we offer that as well. But on the tier 1, it's just not feasible to also
Tier
offer
2
unlimited
seems to
credits.
be the sweet spot, I think. Tier 2, that's where I'm at right now. And then the tier 3 is more for teams, right? If you have a bunch of people together that you want to share
Yeah.
actions.
Yeah, definitely. So if you have, if you're like more than one person that's going to use this, tier 3 is then a great tier, because it costs as much as 2 single ones, but it gets up to 5 people on the team and enables all the real time collaboration. So yeah.
One
As you
question
said.
that I've been getting asked before I forget, is the video feature going to be available to tier 2 and tier 3 only, or is tier 1 also going to get the video feature? And there's a minute limit, I believe, right?
Yeah, we'll do it in all 3 tiers, but we're
Oh,
gonna give progressively more video credits. Now, video is the most expensive service of them all inside the product, so we need to balance this to not go into the red. So
yeah.
we're going to give you the higher the tier, the more credits we're going to give you, because we can afford more credits on a more expensive plan. That's really all the logic behind it.
Yeah.
And as this feature gets closer to being done, we're going to have a better understanding of how much it costs us and then how much we can afford. So we don't have the credits number set yet, but we're definitely going to give you more credits and more expensive plans.
Okay, so maybe it's interesting to consider to upgrade to from tier 2 to tier 3 in that case.
Yeah, maybe, right? With the
Yeah,
the limits for tier 3. Plus, I believe isn't custom characters, there's a limit, tier 1 and tier 2.
yeah,
So tier 3
yeah,
as the bonus. Okay.
yeah. That's right.
Uh,
So we got five custom characters in tier 2 and 25 in tier 3.
Oh, okay.
and
That's
in tier 3, everybody has the same workspace. There is no private space in the team, or how does it work, the collaboration system? Because I haven't tried,
Yeah.
so I'm curious about that also.
So sharing and kind of privacy options is something that's coming. Now, generally, most of our customers so far haven't been really concerned with that. They like sharing everything they make, so we haven't introduced them yet. But there's been some demand for it, so we are planning to do it. We're going to have ability to hide the project, make it private to yourself, or open it up for everybody on the team to see. But right now, all projects you create are open to everybody on the team to see. But also, it has the added, benefit of if you're out of the office or you need somebody to take over your work, they already have access to everything, so they can just jump in and take it over.
Francois, which tier are you on?
Tier 2 also,
Oh, you're
because
2 also. Okay.
I'm working quite
Yeah.
alone most of the time. So, and but I'm considering to get to upgrade before the end of the Absimo deal, because
Yeah.
maybe uh, I know the tool, I will use it. So
Yeah.
if I can have better limits and perhaps sometimes be able to share with the clients, why not? I don't know. Probably, I don't know if it's possible to change the people that can join or not.
Yeah, it's possible. So you have basically a seat-based model. You go into the. I can show you. I'm actually not an admin of this account,
Yeah.
funny
Yeah,
enough.
don't show your password.
I'm, um, but you can go into settings and you can invite 4 people to your account on tier 3, and you can also remove them. So if they're not part of your team, you can just kick them out. But you can also invite anybody. Just enter their email. They get an email to sign up, and they'll be in your account.
Okay. Are you planning to make folders to for the project? Because there, I already have something like 15 pretty
That's a good
project, and
question. Yeah.
that could be interesting to can be able to put them in folders.
Yeah. I'm glad you got as many projects. Means that Cal is working great for you. But yeah, for sure. So we will be adding more kind of like project management capabilities. People have also been asking for like things like statuses, like in progress, completed, the to do, and that kind of stuff.
A,
So we
a
are
search
considering
engine
that,
can
but
be a search engine can be useful also to
yeah,
find
for sure.
script or thing, or because sometimes you just mess up all the project and you don't remember where you put some image.
Yeah, for sure. We were thinking about also adding some thumbnails to the project, so it's a little bit easier to kind of just visually see what the project is, to not just go off of the title. So these are all things we're kind of considering we want to do, but probably a little more further into the future compared to like privacy options, sharing options, and all the creative things that are coming out that are kind of our main focus. But we're not forgetting about all the quality of life improvements in terms of project management and team organization, that kind of stuff for sure. I think search is a great suggestion as well.
The tier 2 is really a sweet spot as a deal. I think I paid like $99, for the value. It almost seems like a good investment right off the bat. And then, yeah, jumping up to tier 3 probably would be smart. But you're on AppSumo, what, for another 6 days or so?
Yeah, that's right. So the promotion's lasting till end of the week, and then it's when it's wrapping up.
That's it. It's not just going to be a price bump. You're going to be off AppSumo.
Yeah, we're gonna be off AppSumo. Then we're only gonna have the subscriptions available through the website. We might do another AppSumo promotion. I don't know. We don't have a plan yet.
Yeah.
We've been doing great for AppSumo. We're making them a lot of money, so they love us to come back.
That's good. Yeah. They always make you come back at least once or twice. I know. They always make everybody come back.
So, the doors are open, but we don't have a plan yet right now. We're not focusing on that yet right now.
Here we go. Victor, any future plans to pivot into being able to animate the storyboard inside Katalist? I mean, make it more complete movie studio in the future.
I think this is a great segue then to premiere the video feature. I think that's the perfect question, right? Let's pretend we just select magic, right? You asked it and here it is. It's how we deliver features. This is a beta feature. It's not released yet, and it doesn't have all the capabilities we want it to have. So just keep that in mind. It's something that a select group of users already been testing out, and the videos you're seeing people are making with Katalist are being made with this. And so the way we've imagined video creation is that once you have a storyboard that you really, really like, you have the characters right, you have the postures, you have like characters right, the scenes right, you have everything put together, right? And you just want to add motion to it, right? Because most of the time when you're using video, like Runway or something similar, it can be a lot of back and forth getting a video that you like, right? Because it's starting from a prompt. And because we're starting from an image, a storyboard, it's already like very consistent. This is much, much easier. And even just like first try of generating a video can be really, really good. And that's why we build it in this way, that you first generate a storyboard, and I've already got one. I'm going to show you what it takes to make a video out of it. So we have this button up here, and this is a switcher. It switches between storyboard and video mode. And so I'm going to click on it. What's it going to say? It's going to say, welcome to video mode. Would you like to generate, right? I'm going to say yes. And what it does, it turns all the frames into video clips using an image to video AI model. And it starts playing them on the storyboard. Now, this is probably not how it's going to be it's definitely not going to be like this. We're going to have an actual timeline on a video player that we're going to use for editing the video. But right now we play it straight into the storyboard. So you can see all the visuals kind of animated, and they're already playing for us. So it's like just one click and we're in video mode. And then what you can do is you can go into edit, and we also have now video generation options in here. So I haven't even shown you the still image editing capabilities I was mentioning earlier. But we have now video editing options in here. So I can this is like kind of beta, so we have lots of this sliders and stuff like that. That's very technical, like steps and FPS and that kind of stuff. But we're still building out on. But we're going to give you more and more capabilities in here in the video generation parts of the product to work on the visuals. So especially things like motion brush and the kind of like things that control the motion are going to be part of this. And so you can make different things. So I made like totally worse with this one. These settings definitely don't work. We're probably going to have some kind of presets available in here that are going to make it easier to use. So I'm just going to generate another video so you can kind of see how this beta works. And then I'm going to jump out and show you how the entire video comes together. So let's see, what do we make with this one? Yeah, I think this one is best. I'm just going to keep this one. We're going to go back out to the storyboard, and we're going to go to export video. And what this does, it takes all the videos you see on the storyboard, stitches them together, and downloads them as an MP4 file. So hopefully I'll be able to screen share that as well. Okay. Let me see. How do I? Is it possible to? So I'm sorry. I don't think. Oh, I got it. All right. Share screen. I'll share the video I just downloaded from the app. So, all right, yeah. Thank you, Joe. So now I'm gonna just play the video. That's what we made in like first try, right? As the video I just generated, downloaded as an MP4, right? I could now go in and add some music to it, add some voiceover to it. This is something that we're gonna build out as well as part of the Katalist video tool. But right now the beta doesn't have it yet. So it's really, really easy to create a video out of a still storyboard. All it takes is one click, and then you can go in and make adjustments. And when we have the full release, you're also going to be able to do things like trim, edit, upload your own music, upload your own voiceover, all these kinds of things you would expect from making a video. So that's something that's going to be available when it releases to everybody.
Okay, great. Still have some more questions if you have time to answer.
For sure.
Victor, I observed that each board has descriptive text underneath the image. Is there a way to disable them and just have the images do the talking?
Yeah. If you don't mind switching back to the screenshot, I'll show you how you can do that. So I'll go back to the storyboard mode. And we have this presentation mode built in. I haven't even shown you yet. So if you want to focus on, oh, yeah, it also has subtitles. So I'm not sure if that's what you're looking for, but especially if you want to present the storyboard, I think this can be a really great way. A lot of the people typically would build PowerPoint presentations. So we wanted to build an easy way straight into the product to do the same type of thing without building the whole PowerPoint out. So when you click into present, start showing the first frame, you can use space or arrow keys to then just basically go through the presentation and just play it like a PowerPoint presentation, but it does put the text below it as a subtitle. I found this tremendously useful because it gives some context to the image, but it still puts the image center stage. I hope this is what you're looking for. We also have this mode. It's very similar to the other one, but this is actually for sharing. So this one is not actually, you can't really edit this one because it's meant to be able to copy a link like this. I wish I could send it in chat. But then this link is now public, right? So anybody can open it and you can use it to share with the client, share with your team. They don't need the Katalist account. They can just open the link and look at the presentation.
Okay, very good. Let's see what we have here. Interpret. Do you think Runway and Sono AI will integrate with your platform?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm really excited about OpenAI releasing the Runway. I thought it said Sora. So we are using. So the way I kind of see this is that the process starts in Catalyst, right? That you first build out a storyboard and then you create video. And I think because when you want to edit visuals, you sometimes generate a video. Something I wanted to show you earlier, I'll show you after I answer this question, is that you sometimes want to edit the underlying visual, right? In a way that maybe you don't like the composition, maybe you don't like the character, maybe you don't like, I don't know, right? And if you want to change that, you need to change the image before you generate the video. So I think it's the best place to be generating video inside of Catalyst, but we want to integrate the best models available for video generation into Catalyst. So we are actually thinking of supporting things like Sora once it comes out with the public API. Maybe Runway too. So far, we've been testing Runway and Stable Diffusion Video and a bunch of others, and we've been really happy with Stable Diffusion, and that's why we use it instead of Runway. And I know Stable Diffusion is also coming up with things like Motion Brush and all these types of things Runway has. So it didn't seem like having Runway would add to the experience. But if they come up with something better, we're definitely going to consider it. Because as we were talking about earlier in the session, how we look like we have people on the team just looking at latest advancement in generation AI, it's because we continue upgrading the models. We've upgraded the model that's behind this so many times now that I don't even remember how many upgrades we've done. But we're also trying to be on the bleeding edge, like offer the best model right now for image, and then when video is out, also for video and audio. So you always have kind of the best things available on the market.
One thing I'm waiting for also is the custom characters to have multiple characters per scene. Is that coming up next on the roadmap?
It is. So we already built this.
Okay.
We're testing this right now. There are still some kinks we're working out, so we're not releasing it just yet. We want it to be like very robust, but it's actually very far in the development cycle, so it's going to be available pretty soon. If I'm gonna say this week, I'm probably gonna jinx it, but it's gonna be available very soon.
Any plan we can integrate directly platform like Go High Level?
I'm not familiar with Go High Level.
Francois, are you familiar with that one?
No, don't know.
So I'm looking at their website on. No, I'll just put it on screen share so everybody can see it. So if that's the product you're talking about, it's it's an agency, I'd say management platform. I think so. So I can see how this could integrate. So definitely, if you would use like storyboards for pitches or storyboard or creating like final content that you deliver to your clients, I think this could be a really cool integration. I'd definitely be open to talking to people at high level if somebody is connected with them to better understand how this could work together. I think it could be a really great partnership.
Francois, I shared your link in the comments, but it was before we go with any more questions. Do you want to share any of your Katalist creations on the live?
Why not? I'll get.
Andraz, you have some time still, Andraz?
I got to
yeah, of course.
Okay.
I could go through some more questions, but if you can do it whenever you're ready, let me know. I'll just go through some more questions here. Let's see. Tuhin asks, can we add Indian characters or more typical Indian attires and more geographical influenced environments?
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So I personally haven't done a lot of like stories specifically with Indian characters but it doesn't matter because you can do any types of characters. I know we were doing a storyboard last year that was very, very specifically had to depict the Bosnian village that has a very specific architectural style, and they wanted to represent that in that story because it was something that was it was an ad made for the Boston market, so they wanted to make sure the audience would recognize their own style, right? If it looked off, people would be like, "What's that?" Right? And we were very easily able to recreate that. So I'm very confident you'll be able to do kind of like Indian locations. So it's going to work with if you want like see specific like architecture, art style, and you can also upload any character you want as a custom character. So you can have the character look exactly as you want them. It's going to give you that.
Francois, I believe this is what you've created, right?
Okay, so that was just one attempt with my own face. So you see, you can take your face and make something interesting with character. And here's a video I've made.
There might be some buffering because of the internet with the wave and all that. So sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah, the best thing perhaps to share the link of the video.
Yeah, you can. I know you posted this. I think I posted in the comments, and it's in the group also. So it'll run smoother when it's not during a live. But at least people get the idea. I mean, it looks great. I've seen it. I've watched it before, and it was pretty impressive what you did with Einstein there.
some tests how good you can make with Catalyst. So I use it as a test.
Yeah, I think your internet connection might be a little bit.
Yeah.
It's working too hard with the AI. I like the DeLorean you have up there.
Okay. There's a lot of lots of project. Oh,
Nice.
well, my internet is really bad. Sorry.
No,
But
yeah, I think the internet on your end is a little bit choppy, but it happens. It happens to me. I'm surprised
yeah.
mine is still doing well. And in all this technology we have, right? Maybe AI can fix our freaking bandwidth, our Wi-Fi. Catalyst, is that on the roadmap? We need better Wi-Fi on Catalyst.
It looks like I've been too nice with accepting all the feature requests. So now you're coming up with fixing your bandwidths. I'm sorry.
Can
Don't
you fix
submit
the
that to
internet?
our.
It's funny. Let's see. Really nice, Francois. Thank you for.
Yes, there is a Facebook group for Catalyst and also a Discord channel. So
That's right. You're in the Discord. I'm in the Discord as well, but I got to get more active. I know you guys share a lot of ideas in there, right? And use cases.
Yeah, and definitely it's a good time to join right now. We're also running a contest, so there's lots of interesting things you can look at for inspiration. We're also giving away some merch and some more licenses. So definitely it's a good opportunity to join and participate.
And we're gonna give away one yearly subscription to one of the
That's right.
people in the comments. I guess we could do it after the session, let you guys pick, and we could flip a coin and whatever. No, Francois, you can't win. You can't. You have enough.
okay, I'm fine.
Maybe he can win. I don't know.
No, it's okay. It's for. I've got a question about the video length. You think because now I think it's 2 seconds. It's really short. So, are you planning to make it longer? I've seen something about story diffusion that can make videos that's 13 seconds long. So,
yeah, definitely. This is definitely part of the things we need to do before we fully launch it. So you're gonna have more length options and also ability to trim. So you're able to make like clips shorter and that kind of stuff that you would do with
and loops
video for this.
also. I think that we could make loops. It could be
Mm-hmm.
interesting so we can use the same image a little bit longer for the voiceover, for example, or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Victor, can a user sell the storyboard commercially and keep the cash?
Yeah, you can keep the cash. It's whenever you make a Catalyst, it's yours.
Interpret. Any plan to come up with Indian, more specific Punjabi characters?
Yeah, you can create custom characters. Right now, we're not going to be expanding the default character library because we have custom characters now. So I'd encourage you to just create your own.
When are you guys adding videos? Yeah, everyone's asking for the video. And when will you be adding some effects like zoom, wobble, light effects, similar to current TikTok and short trends?
So we're not kind of time us to release video in the summer. We'll start releasing early access very soon, probably this or next week. We're gonna add more people on. So if you want to try it out, definitely check out Catalyst AI. We got a wait list you can sign up for, and this is where we're giving priority access. Now for the full release, we're aiming for summer, and obviously we're gonna release it as soon as we feel it's ready to, it's ready to go out.
We have few more questions. I don't know if you still have time to answer a few more.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go.
Okay. So the limit of 5 custom characters in each project or on total in the tier 2 itself?
It's in total. It's per account, but you can delete them. So if you're done with a project and you want to use different characters in different projects, you can delete them, and the project's gonna stay intact. It's not gonna change.
Jens from Germany. Is the 25 custom characters for tier 3 for all users together or for each one? And can we buy more custom characters later as LTD add-on? Good question.
Yeah, so it is per account in tier 3 as well. So it is 25 for all users in the account. We don't offer any add-on purchases, but if it becomes an issue, we are monitoring analytics and we are looking at how many characters people have in their account. We will we'll find a solution, whether that would be add-on or something in some way that we can, they're not going to be limited.
Victor, can the storyboard be made into and exported as web stories?
Not sure what you mean with web stories.
I mean, it can be already published and exported, but maybe he's maybe like the short clips and stuff like that. I guess like a video. Will the video be converted into different? Also, would it be in different sizes? Like it has a landscape mode, but can it also be in portrait mode? Vertical.
It can.
In the future. Okay.
Yeah. Any kind of storyboard you can make. So that can be portrait, or it can be square or landscape. Video works in all these modes as well. You can download them as an MP4, and you can also export all the images. So if you want to make something like a comic book or something like that, you can get the zip of PNGs, and you can make, whatever you want out of it and publish it online.
Philippe, will the video creation be available for LTD holders? If yes, shall a credit system be used?
Yes, yes.
Yes. And yeah. Victor, will early adapters have access to all future updates without exceptions? I had to ask because most LTD founders have been switching it up lately. Yeah, some of the LTD community, the founders are just kind of like bait and switch, and later all these cool features are not available.
Yeah, so everything so far that's coming to our regular plans, also coming to the LTD plans, and things are coming to higher tier business plans are coming to tier 3, like things related to collaboration, and those are not coming to tier 2. This is a limitation.
Victor, beyond the ability to import a specific character, can a user also import custom backgrounds?
Not yet, but there's something that's on the roadmap as well.
Yeah, I'm actually waiting for that one. Custom backgrounds would be nice.
Very interesting for me, custom background, because I'm making virtual tools, so I've got lots of pictures I can use, and maybe adding characters to the pictures can be really interesting. So
yeah, Francois, you have a lot of photography for your 360, the virtual tours, correct? So you could really go crazy with this thing and just put your backgrounds in, and then just have the characters, go with your scenes and the script and everything. That could be good with for your customers as well.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Let's see. How long will deal be available?
Yeah, it's by the end of the week. 6 more days on the deal.
6 more days, yeah. Tuhin, can just used to have like a web embed that can be just published to anything like WordPress or Medium or GHL, etc. Can you embed the video?
You might be able to embed the presentation mode. So just take the link. I want to be honest with you, I haven't tried it, but I think you should be able to embed the presentation shareable link as an iframe. I think should probably work, but if it doesn't, let us know.
And then the movies, we can embed or upload the movie somewhere and just do that through YouTube or one of those tools, I guess.
So right now during the beta, it's just a download, but we're going to have like a built-in video player as well, and you'll be able to share links. So it's going to be really simple to like share to social media, share to YouTube without having to download. But that's coming later on with the full release.
Where do you see us in the next 6 months? Where are you focusing on mainly? What do you see?
Yeah, two things we're focusing on in the next 6 months is first is video. We want to get the full video editor out with all the things that I've been mentioning. There's going to be a lot of work. And the second is creative capabilities. I think we still have things we can make better in the storyboards in terms of multiple characters, better camera control and framing, that kind of stuff. And that's kind of the second track we're working on to make it even better.
Nice. Nice. Would you also have an option to save some of the clips or pics as favorites that could be reused later without regeneration again?
It's a really cool idea. We don't have this in the plans. I'd encourage you to go to roadmap.catalyst.ai and submit that as a suggestion, and we'll prioritize.
Philippe, any plans to add voice dubbing?
Yes. So there's a plan to add this to the video generation release.
Let's see. And we have another one. Any plan to link directly with 11 Labs?
We are considering 11 Labs, but we haven't made a decision yet which voice engine we're going to use. But we're going to have voiceover or voice dubbing in the app.
That's a lot of the questions there. Francois, do you have any other questions, or what do you think about? Well, I know you like Katalist. So.
I do. Yes, on the sound. So, if you're planning to make also a sound thing on voiceover, but perhaps also music and FX.
Yes.
Sound noise.
Yes. Yeah. We plan both. So we're probably going to do voiceover first. I think that one's going to be the most valuable, but music definitely yes. I think somebody mentioned Suno. I'd really love to get in touch with them and see maybe we could integrate their platform, or if not something similar like that. I think that'd be really cool.
Also saw, actually, I think just today, I don't know if you or your partner posted on LinkedIn something. It was the custom character post. Maybe it was from last week on LinkedIn, and I saw in the comments a couple people were saying, "Oh, this is what about the ethics?" This is a broader question. It's not just about Catalyst, but AI in general. Yeah. The ethics of using other people's faces and images, and this is something we worry about. Voices, everything in AI. Is there anything to worry about? I mean, as yourself, as a founder, certain rules, I don't even know. Do you get this a lot? Do you hear this from people like, oh, AI is evil, using other people's faces, or celebrities? I don't know if what can we as users also get in trouble for creating something with someone else's likeness and stuff like that. And especially in Europe and United States, I know the laws are different. So
it's a good question. Yeah, for sure. And we do get questions like that. I think a lot of these questions are coming from people that are building products that are, trying to kind of, like, what's the best word to use is they're kind of in the space of kind of authenticity and IP and that kind of stuff. And they're asking lots of these questions on LinkedIn because they're promoting themselves.
Oh, they're promoting.
Very smart strategy. Yeah.
Smart. But okay. So let's not give them any attention.
but it's a good question. I think IP and, ownership, I think it is an important topic for, IP holders and especially artists. And
yeah.
I think this is a topic where it's not legally very clear how it's going to play out. But generally my advice is that creating or recreating somebody or some piece of work in AI is just like copying it off the internet and using it in Photoshop and making a montage. If it's covered under kind of like fair use, then educational purposes or like parody kind of stuff, it's fine. But if you're using it commercially and using somebody else's IP, of course it's not fine, right?
Yeah.
I can't generate James Bond, put it on a billboard and say it's my property, because if I took it off of Google and I printed it out, I still would have been in trouble. So at this point, I don't think it's much different. So yeah, I mean, Yeah, don't take other people's property and sell it.
I've actually gotten in trouble with photographers like Francois, not yet, but
You can have
photographers going
problems.
after when I did a couple paintings of professional athletes. Sometimes the professional athletes are fine with using their likeness, but the photographer, if you painted exactly like the photo, I've received letters before where, hey, you used my photo for reference. That's mine. I have that, protected. So it's with everything. AI, it's just going to be more of that, I guess. But it's happened before with even just traditional art.
That's why I've got a question about the characters we've got now. So you're not planning to make more characters, generic characters that we can use in Catalyst, because uh, I think there's a few and there's no villain. So, for example, that's quite really important when you make a story to have great villains. So, but I would like to have more choice about the generic character I can use with no worries at all. So maybe you can consider that also, because
Yeah.
custom character is great, but doesn't fit for some reason, of course, like we just said, and so I think it could be interesting to have also a little bit more choice on generic
Yeah,
one.
so I think it's a great suggestion. Something that we're planning to do is have a character generator, because the way the characters in the library were made, they're actually AI generated. We didn't want to use real people for the library. So we're thinking we are gonna build a generator straight into the app so that you'll be able to generate your characters in Catalyst, add them to your library. And so it's gonna let you generate villains and that kind of stuff. Also avoid, kind of, you have to take Batman off Google Images and then get into trouble. And it got me to think, it's just an idea I just thought of right now. We could maybe even have like publicly shared libraries. Somebody could make like a library of like villains, and you could share it like
You could use
marketplace.
Midjourney prompting AI imagery, artwork. You could have artists submitting theirs. Hey,
Yeah.
Francois, if you need a villain, you can use my photo, and I can be the villain. All right, but make sure I'm in a good story. Make sure I'm gonna get a good story, and I die an honorable death.
Yeah, look, Joe, we can put you in the default library if you'd like to be part of it.
Yeah. Put Joe at all these different, Is there a API from Jerry?
We don't have a publicly available API, but if you have like an interesting collaboration, we could reach out to us, and we can give you access to our private API.
Solid platform.
Thank you.
What action you take for deep fake videos? I guess.
We don't do deep fakes, so all this stuff is generated from images in the storyboard. Hope this answers your questions.
And you plan to create marketplace where people could add their own project and even sell. That's interesting.
It's a really cool idea. We're not planning on that, but it does sound like a very fun idea. So I don't know, maybe sometime in the future.
But the characters idea that you came up with, that sounds great. Adding your own. Everyone could just upload a community of characters. That'll keep Francois busy for a while.
And yeah, maybe that would even get around the IP issues. If we could get like IP holders to license them to us, and you could buy a pack of characters and they would be licensed. Could be.
Yeah, then the users can make money as well if you have the residuals for their creations. That could be another way for people to get more active. If you pay, they sometimes will help more.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
See, voice over air integrated would be fab. Yeah, voice over air. I'm not sure if you're familiar with. It's a solid tool from guy Jay. We've done some live sessions with him in our group, and it's a nice tool. So definitely maybe connect with him and have a nice integration.
Yeah, I'd love to.
I think that's all the questions from the comments for now. I know we kept you long, so This has been a wonderful session. I'm glad I didn't miss this. Thank you, Victor. Victor's great.
Thank you.
I want Francois to speak more. I feel like I was talking over him too much.
No, I'm fine not to speaking too much. I'm not confident with my English. It was really interesting, and of course, there's a lot of possibility with the tool. We can make so many things, so that's really great. Sometimes the AI don't want to do what we told her to do or him to do. That's sometimes a little bit frustrating. But anyway, sometimes it gives you really thing interesting also. So it's always a gamble, and you've got to try and just to get the right output. That's fun also.
Interpret is can we create similar series like Marvel, your own 3 characters like a superhero series?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can do any type of stories. You can do superheroes too. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's very good. Well, I appreciate your time, Andraz. And Francois, of course, thank you so much. I don't
Really
know, there's
fun.
anything you want to close with, or I kept you guys too long. It's late in Europe, right? You guys have to go
Yeah, it's late.
eat dinner. No, it's after dinner now. You got to go watch TV, relax.
Yeah, I got too much work these days to relax. But thank you so much for having me on, Joe. Francois, it's been a pleasure chatting again. Thanks everybody that tuned in. I these opportunities to talk with people, these are probably they're just great, and I can't wait to see what everybody that signs up today is going to make. Hope you will be posting to our Discord so we can see it. And yeah, if you haven't heard, the sale is ending in 6 days, so take advantage of that. Otherwise, you're gonna have to buy at the regular price on the website.
Okay. Thanks for the wonderful session. And Francois, I'm going to have you on again. We're going to have to showcase more of your Katalist work. And Andraz, whenever you want to come on, more than welcome, even a few months from now with new updates and everything else. Or we could just talk
I'd be
AI
happy to.
taking over the world.
I'd be happy to come on again. Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you both. And we'll announce the giveaway a couple days, who's the winner. And thanks everyone for joining. And check out Katalist. And also, you can find Francois right on Facebook in the groups. And your agency is what is it again? Visite 360 Pro.
Yeah, I will put a link in the description or in the video if you want.
Okay. Yeah. And if anybody has more questions for either Andraz and Francois, you can ask it in the comments in the Facebook group or on YouTube. I guess if you guys are around, you can answer there. And there's Josh, the EEAT crew. I finally made it. Josh made it for the end. You have to watch a replay. Josh is a good SEO, funny guy on Facebook. Definite follow. Highly recommend. All right. So everybody, la noche. Good night. Good day.
Good night. Good afternoon. Bye.